Okay, so this is what the prompt is going to look like. You can also find this on page 162 of the of your ACT preparation study guide. That's the spiral book that you received. But every prompt essentially begins by introducing the topic, and that's going to happen right up here at the top. So that's this portion right over here, and they're going to introduce the topic, and you want to read this thing carefully and understand exactly what they're talking about. You want to understand what specific nuance they are talking about. And then it's expanded by three different perspectives, and that's right over here: perspective 1, perspective 2, and perspective 3. These are the perspectives that you are expected to understand and write about. And so this portion right here generally remains the same, and then the task itself over here also essentially remains the same, but there are some small things that change with it. So in this case, they'll say write an amalgamated, articulate essay that contains your evaluation of multiple perspectives on the conflict between financial needs of students and the financial needs of colleges and universities. So this last bit right here, multiple perspectives on the conflict. So just that portion itself is what's going to change. And the rest of it remains the same. In your essay, be certain to examine and assess the perspectives given, state, develop your own perspective, etc., etc. So this portion remains the same. So you should be pretty familiar with all these things. And the three perspectives that they give you are meant to represent three equally strong perspectives of the topic that they've given to you. So it's not like they favor one or the other. It's not like, perspective 1 is better than 2 or 3 or anything like that. It's not like they're given in any order. They're three equally weighted perspectives, at least from what they've written. And it's generally going to be up to you to decide which one you agree with or disagree with, and then explain why in the form of an essay, essentially. So there's three perspectives here, so it's a great way to do, 3 body paragraphs, or you can do one perspective and really talk about it. You don't, just choosing a perspective is not enough to fulfill the essay requirement. You do have to really talk about all three of them. So even if you really agree with one of them, you should not only talk about why you agree with that one and why it's the best one, but you should also talk about some of the limitations of the other two and why you feel that those other two are not going to be that good, or why the other two are not in line with what is right or what should be done or what you feel is the right thing to do in a case like this. So you must relate your perspective to the perspectives that are given to you in the prompt. That's the idea of this. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and pause the screen now, or take a look at page 162 in the book. And it's possible that the page numbers may have shifted, but it should be in that general area. And if it's not in that general area, check the table of contents to see the prompt for the writing portion, the writing test on the ACT, and make sure you read it. But it's up here on the screen. Make sure you read it thoroughly. If you need to, read it a couple of times just to make sure that you have it. Also keep in mind that the essay prompt, the ACT intentionally chooses topics that can be approached from a variety of different perspectives, and this is actually one of the biggest things that you have to do on the ACT. You have to understand and respond to the different perspectives that are given to you. That's actually the core of the entire task that you are given. So keep in mind that these topics are deliberately chosen so that there are multiple perspectives on it. There's no such thing as right or wrong on this, but you just have to be able to support the perspective that you've selected, whether it's your own or whether it's one of the three perspectives that they've given you, with evidence and clear logic and reasoning.